Hey everybody, this is David, the Timeless Runner, and I am here with another of our sessions on yoga for seniors, yoga for beginners, yoga for boomers, yoga for you. And it's essentially a series of short yoga presentations that typically run between 10 and 15 minutes. And they show you some of the poses that you can do without having any special equipment, no yoga mats, no gym, no yoga wear unless you want to. And it is intended for people who are just coming back into the exercise routines after the pandemic, or for people who are just curious about what yoga is about. So we always start out with a stand-up routine, and then we're going to move down to the ground and do some of the ground poses as well today, as we focus on improving our range of motion in our joints and our flexibility. So you'll find that all yoga sessions start by relaxing our body and our mind. So stand up with your feet hip width apart. Drop your shoulders down and relax your back. And then breathe in. And breathe out. Just slow, relaxing breaths, putting your mind at ease. You can put one hand over your heart and one over your stomach and feel your lungs expand as you breathe in. And as you feel your stomach compress as you breathe out. Do as many as you can do to realize before you get the urge to start doing other things, but just make sure that you're as relaxed and in the right state of mind to approach it. Raise your hands up over your head, and as my grandchildren will say, reach for the sky. Take a big strong stretch up, stretch out the back, stretch out the back of your legs. Remember to breathe in as you go up. Hold the pose, and then breathe out as you come down. Now we're going to drop down to the ground. If you have a yoga mat at home, this is good for your knees. I am out in the middle of a park, so this is a beautifully manicured golf course lawn. So this is really ideal for doing this. And you're going to sit back on your heels and bend forward, stretching your arms out. This is called a child's pose. And the idea is to relax your lower back, let your butt sink down between your feet, and you'll feel the stretch in your shoulders and in your butt. All yoga poses are typically held for 10 to 20 seconds. You really don't want to go to the point where you're straining. And then we want to start walking our hands. We're going to put one hand over the other and walk it to the left. And hold that for about 20 seconds. You'll feel the stretch on the right side of your body and up in your shoulders. Again, remembering to breathe. And then we're going to walk our hands back to the center line and to the other side. Go as far as you can go till you feel the stretch. Try to keep your body straight in front of you. Don't roll over to get more of a stretch. But you'll feel it down in your hips. You'll feel it along your left side doing this. Then another really useful pose, we come to what's called a tabletop position. Another useful one for warming up is called cat and cow. The cow slumps the back down and looks up as you pinch your shoulder blades together. And then cat, you raise your shoulders and arch your back like a cat that is scared. Again, hold them for 10 to 15 seconds. Drop the back down, do cow again. And then do the cat. And continue on doing them. I usually do 4 or 5 together. Just again to loosen up the spine and the neck. From the tabletop position, you've got many different options. You can stretch to the side by raising your arm up and looking up. Got a bright sunny day like today. It's not as easy to do with the sun up there, but thank God for sunglasses. And return and do the other side, reaching up as high as you can. And you can work on your hip mobility by doing what I term fire hydrants. You're going to lift your leg up and rotate your hip through moving your legs forward first. I usually do 5 or 7 of these on each side and then reverse it. Again, we're working on loosening up the joints and the muscles. And what we do on one side, we do on the other. Now there is a variation on this to build quad strength. If you lift your leg up behind you and press your heel up as high as you can go, keeping your foot flat, just press it up. That'll work to build strength in your quad and in your butt muscle. Again, work on strengthening in the hip joints, all those things that keep you stable. From here we can go into downward facing dog, which is a very common pose in yoga. It takes a little while to build up the arm strength if you've been away for this for a while. Straighten your legs out. You want to stretch the back of your calves. Again, stretch, not strain. And then you can walk your legs forward just to get a different emphasis on what is being stretched as you do this. Return to your tabletop. For hip movement, put your hands out in front of you and then slowly rotate your hips so that you're making hip circles from the tabletop position or an extended tabletop position. You'll usually start to feel some really good stretches on the outside of your hips as you do this. And from the tabletop, you can roll over on your back. And similarly, grab your hips, grab your knees, give your knees a hug up to your chest, and then start to stir the pot with your knees, making that rotating movement, first in one direction, and then in the other. From there, we want to grab one knee, pull it up to our chest, and then slowly we're going to pull it over to the opposite side, and you'll feel a stretch in the outer side of your hip. Take it slow. Go for as far as you can go. Again, we want to try and keep our shoulders on the ground. Keep our other leg straight as we do this. And similarly, what we do on the right, we do on the left. So we're going to hug our knee to our chest, and then we're going to slowly pull our leg down towards the ground while keeping our shoulders flat, trying not to rotate the body, but rather stretch out the outside of the leg. And there are two more things I want to show you while we're on the ground here. One is the abductors, which are these muscles that are in the front of your pelvis. We need to keep those strong. It's those things that get tight that cause people to bend over when they walk. So you want to do a series of butt lifts. You can do these two ways. The first is to keep your shoulders on the ground, keep the flat of your foot on the ground, and lift up with your butt, and you'll feel the stretch right in the front as you do that. In a normal session, I would do 30 to 50 of these each day. I'm not going to do that many just here for the purposes of demonstration. And then the other way to do this is an elevated butt lift, where you're going to go into a bridge position and then touch the butt down to the ground and keep moving it up. This one is much more effective on stretching your quads and your adductors. Just take it easy and breathe as you do these. Again, keep the soles of your feet flat on the ground, the palms of your hand flat on the ground. And go through that motion. When we're done with that, we can work on the outside of the hip by doing figure fours. You're going to put your legs into a figure four position by resting the ankle of one foot on the opposite knee, gently pushing across to feel the stretch on the outside of the hip. You can do these in sets at about 25 seconds each. Again, not pushing so hard that you feel like you're going to push the joint out, but enough to feel the stretch. And after stretching that, you can interlock your hands behind your knee and rock side to side. And again, that'll work on the range of motion and all those ligaments that tie your hip and your leg together, stretching them out. Repeat it on the other side. And if you're like me, you will notice that there is a difference in range of motion side to side. My right side is much more stiff or more constricted, restricted than the left side. But as I do this, I feel the stretch right in the side of my pelvis, side of the hip joint. Again, you got to keep them straightened out or stretched out so that you have equal balance side to side when you're standing and walking. And then interlock your fingers behind your leg, and again, gently rocking side to side for a different type of stretch on that. And the last one I want to show you for today is a seated hip stretch. We're going to take our leg, place it over the other one so that the foot is outside of our knee. Again, trying to keep it flat on the ground. Hug our knee to our chest and pull it slightly as we turn to the side. Once again, you'll feel that stretch right down on the hip joint. And remembering to breathe as we do these, we want to relax those muscles, those tendons and those ligaments. And then again, as we do on one side, we always do on the other. And you again will find that there is a difference in mobility side to side. Hug that knee to your chest and just pull it gently as you twist around. And again, holding it for somewhere around 20 seconds. When you get up from the floor in yoga, always do it in a slow and controlled motion. Bring your legs up first into a standing position. Use your legs to lift you up. You don't need to pull out a back muscle or anything trying to get up off the ground. And lastly, we're going to end relaxing our body, thanking our spirit for giving us this time of day to relax and enjoy life, get in tune with our bodies, do our bodies some good. If you like these videos, please click on like. I will be posting new videos each week, so check on subscribe if you want to get the video feed for these. And thanks for watching.